IVM.
$100. That's all it takes to begin your journey with Bitcoin and Ethereum. No, really. With CoinSwitch, you can start investing in over 100 cryptocurrencies with just 100 rupees. On top of that, there are zero charges for deposits and withdrawals, so you can trade, buy, sell, however and whenever you want. All of this, plus their extremely intuitive interface, makes CoinSwitch the perfect app for beginners in the crypto space. But don't take my word for it. Just download CoinSwitch for free and try it out for yourself. If you'd like more information on cryptocurrencies, tune into A Show About Crypto with me, Rohan Joshi, my new adventure on IVM podcasts. CoinSwitch, kuch to badlega.
Are you one of those people who always wants to be in control of everything? And when I say be in control, I'm not talking about coming from fears, but somebody who thinks that only they know how it should be done and their way is the best. If you're one of those people, before you listen to this episode, you might want to hit pause and listen to the episode before this one so that you can understand that you won't always be in control, no matter how badly you want it. And sometimes the only choice you'll have is to surrender. Hi, I'm Chetna, your favorite positive action coach, and this is Say No to Drama. I'm talking a little more in this episode about all the control drama that we go through or we put ourselves through. If you heard the last episode, you may have realized that one was a lot about people who try to stay in control because they're afraid of what might happen otherwise. Sure, there are some of us like that. We don't have enough resilience to deal with something going wrong. The fear of failure is too loud. The fear of judgment is too loud. It happens. And that episode was about telling you guys that sometimes you will have no choice but to surrender. And I also shared a concept called the active limbo. And I also shared a concept called the active limbo state. So I hope that you tuned into that episode. But this one is not about being in control because you're afraid, but rather being in control because you are a Mr. or Miss Know-It-All. So let me just say a truth up front, right now, right here. You do not know it all. No one person has all the answers. You do not know it all. Irrespective of all the experience that you have, irrespective of all the wisdom that you have, the resources and the tools that you have, you do not know it all. And yours may be the best way for you. Sure, I'll give you that. But it may not necessarily be the best way for somebody else because each one of us has different skills. Each one of us has a different way of doing things because we have different strengths and weaknesses. So for you, something may be very easy and you may think that's the fastest way. For someone else, that same thing may be very hard and it may become the slowest possible option for them. So don't go jumping around saying that you know the best way or you know the right way of doing things because you must always be in charge. If you are a person who likes to be in control because you just have to always be in charge, I would tell you to stand in front of the mirror. Look deep inside yourself, find your ego in your eyes and tell your ego to calm down. This kind of need to control also has a sense of authority wrapped around it. And you may have seen this kind of control behavior in your parents, maybe your dad or your mom, who's trying to dictate terms to everybody, who just wants things to be done their way, who is not willing to listen to any other option or solution that anyone else may try to put forth. And you will realize, when I'm saying this to you, I'm sure there is a face that has flashed in your mind. Think about this person and you will realize that, yes, they speak from their ego many times. They are not willing to be wrong. And no, they do not know it all because the solutions that they may be giving or the way forward that they may be suggesting lacks information of our current world. You know, maybe the world has evolved and there are better solutions there, but because they come from another generation, they just want to be stuck to it. So if you realize they don't have all the information, they have not updated their own skill set or the wisdom that they possess. A lot of stuff that they say might be outdated. So when you are being a control freak, I want you to think about this person and ask yourself, am I behaving like that? And if you are, you know how annoyed and irritated you get when they try to impose their solutions on you? Know that you are being exactly that annoying and irritating to somebody else upon whom you are imposing your solutions. I'll tell you one more piece. Maybe what you are suggesting is the better way. Maybe what you are suggesting is the better option. However, everyone should be allowed and should be given the space and room to make their own mistakes. That is their journey and they need to learn. So you can make a recommendation, you can make a suggestion, but you don't get to impose anything. Stop trying to control people. Stop trying to control how everyone does things. I'm going to give you 2 or 3 different examples of how this plays out. When two people get married, right? The general stereotypical role play is that the girl will take charge of the house. But there's a chance that the guy has been living alone for 10 or 12 years and has figured out a system that works for him. Sure, the girl also may have been living alone and has a system of her own. However, she does not get to walk into their home and dictate her system or impose her system on her partner. So what if he is a guy? And so what if stereotypically gender role defines the home as the woman's territory? She may know how to do certain things, fair enough. And maybe some of the things that she is saying is better, but there's also something known as preference. And we don't always prefer what is better or what is best. We very often prefer something that is convenient or something that feels comfortable or something that gives us joy. So think about this. I'll give you another example. Take me, for example. I'm a life coach. Do I feel that there is a better way that somebody can do something to change their life? Every single day, multiple times in a day, in every single session. Do I go around imposing my way of doing things on my clients? Absolutely not. Why? Because they will not succeed. 100% they will fail. Why? Because you will not commit to somebody else's solution as easily and as willfully you will commit to your own solution. When you think of a solution, it comes from your own sense of strength, weaknesses, resilience, emotional energy, mental bandwidth, external circumstances, etc., etc. So something that may work for me may not work for my clients, not because it's a bad idea, but because they don't have the kind of capacity I have to use that solution. So if you generally are a control freak, I mean, you just like things the way you like things, then it's a drama you need to deal with. And when somebody in your life does something in a different way, whether they succeed or they falter, the irritation that you feel, gulp it down with a glass of water. You don't get to throw a tantrum, and you definitely don't get to tell the person, I told you so. Because maybe your suggestion in that scenario was better. However, the other person is allowed to make their own mistakes. And secondly, sometimes you may think it was better, but your solution really wasn't all that great. So keep your ego in check and take a deep breath. Also, when you are this kind of a control freak, when you are trying to control everything because it gives you a sense of authority, it makes you feel like you are good enough, it makes you feel like you know better, understand that what you are doing essentially is countering the fear of becoming irrelevant, the fear of being unheard or unseen, and maybe you dislike somebody else being the center of attention. I would recommend you sit down and dig deep and ask yourself, why is it so important for me to be the one in control, for me to be the one in charge? Why does it have to be me, or why does it have to always be my way? On this note, I'm going to head out, but all the previous episodes, especially the one that I mentioned in this one, are available on the IVM Podcast app and website. You can connect with us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is IVM Podcast in case you want to know about some of the other episodes or even some of our other podcasts. And if you would like to connect with me to overcome your control issues, you can book a session by DMing me on Instagram. My handle is Positivity Angel.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talks to holistic health coach Chris Gibson about the various aspects of skincare routines. On The Longest Constitution, Priya deconstructs an important judgment on reservations with the Indira Sawhney case. On Ikka Dukka Economy, Abhinav and Dr. Bharat Junjunwala analyze how the dynamics of a typical government job have changed over the years. And on The Life Manifesto, Zarina teaches us how we can become better decision makers. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. We really do appreciate the word of mouth. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you're listening to us on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. And we are also on YouTube. On YouTube, you can check out our various channels on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and CoinSwitch Kuber. Thank you for making this possible.
Namaste, this is Cyrus Brocha. I am part of the government cancel culture program to remove rubbish off all the different streams available. So what we have is all the collected rubbish we put together on our show. It's called Cyrus Says. It's on IVM Podcast. You have to watch it and listen to it. It's on our app. It's on our website. It's on the YouTube channel. It's on Facebook. There are many different ways. Don't bother me and ask me how. You have to find out. We talk to different personalities. Many of them are known. Some are just people we meet downstairs and invite them up for chai. But the point is, it's fun and it's very therapeutic. So please join in and listen to Cyrus Says.